So there is another comment from our friend Enrique.
Right, yeah, saying that he's changing his point of view about tests, where first he primarily thought that they were mostly about validation, but that he recently changed his point of view that their documentation aspect is also a vital part of their of what they contribute to a software engineering project, and how that makes a software engineering project easier to understand for new engineers that roll into it. And I wholeheartedly agree with this angle. I think this is a really important angle of tests. And I know that whenever I look at a new code base, I start at the tests.
I definitely agree that tests are more to tell the story rather than to make sure that you haven't broke anything. Although there is a little bit, there is side part of that. Another thing that Enric says is that the more tests you have, the better it is. Okay, here I am slightly cautious with this analogy of the documentation and written text. It's not always the more you have, the better it is.
Exactly.
Yes, maybe you want to have coverage in a good coverage so that you have the stories covering different aspects, yes, but not necessarily more tests is better. Better tests is better, but not more.
Yes, definitely. Tests. Yeah, you want to have indeed good enough coverage, but you don't like reading more tests also takes more mental effort.
Yeah.
So you need complete yet succinct yet short.
Succinct.
Yeah. I think that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And that's also what Enric himself says at the end of the comment. He says to do it in an easy and clear way. Yes, so not just any test, but easy and clear to understand. And I also like the point that sometimes, okay, if you can't understand a scenario, you can put a breakpoint and debug. This is why I personally, I will get again into integration versus unit tests, but why I do like integration tests, because with unit tests spread across the areas, if you don't understand how they combine together, you're out of luck. Or maybe you need to start writing an integration test yourself. Whereas with high level acceptance or integration tests, usually they are more difficult to understand and maintain, but if they are written with a purpose, they are telling a story which you can debug and troubleshoot.
Maybe I've been working with Spring a bit too much to appreciate debugging integration tests, because I always get tired of 8 layers of proxies when stepping through.
Yes, when you're starting to debug that, yes, there is in Spring. I was thinking recently that maybe in many of our discussions about testing, especially about pyramid and so on, between us in our circle, we are very much influenced by the setup of Spring itself and how we're using Spring and Spring tests. Okay, and that's our life.
Yeah, maybe it's probably interesting to make that a topic, but maybe that's a hard topic to do since, to be honest, it's been so long since I have not worked with Spring.
Maybe it's a good motivation for us to ditch somewhere Spring and see how it works without it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was yet another comment from our favorite commentator, Ebalio News.
Yes!
And with this, we're about to finish our current round of reactions on the comment and just mention a mysterious comment that we got recently on our episode about Solid, how Solid is solid. Nice discussions, also lessons learned. I'm curious, who was it?
Yes, so if you watch our videos and you have any questions or angles that we haven't covered, please leave us any comments, because we love to hear from all of you, and there's so much to figure out.
And so much to trigger us about.
Yeah, exactly. I think on average we talked about 15 minutes per comment or something.
Yes.
Mikola cuts a lot away.
Yeah, that's my power of editing. Good. Okay, then let's see what our next episode will be.
I've been shopping a talk around about the dangerous side of Kotlin, and Mikola happened to see that talk, and So he had some feedback that we're gonna put all out there. Yes.